Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Tom Sherry.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Whitney Ward.
I'm just so excited to see my students, I might cry.
So just like that, middle and high school students are finally going back to class next week in Spokane Public Schools. Teachers and staff are excited, and they're making those final preparations for all those kids to return. We checked in at Ferris High School today, and those returning students can expect some changes around the building, such as desks now 6 feet apart, 2-lane directions, which will be marked in the hallways for everyone. There will be assigned seating even at lunchtime, and it's a lot of work for teachers now as they're just trying to get ready for students to come back to class on Monday, but overall they are extremely excited about it.
I'm just so excited to see my students, I might cry.
I love to hear her say that. Well, another way that Ferris is taking steps to protect the well-being of its students is implementing assigned entrances for specific grade levels, and that way the students will be spread out more when they enter the building. Our Amanda Rowley will share more on what students can expect next week when they return to school. That's all coming up tonight on KREM 2 News at 5 o'clock.
In the meantime, still no word on when the Spokane Arena will start opening up new appointments for people who may be looking to get their first dose of the COVID vaccine. That site is still transitioning the daily operations from CHAZ now to the State Department of Health. So for the next few weeks, we're told they are only going to be scheduling those who need second doses but have already received their first dose. Coming up tonight at 5 o'clock, though, I'll let you know where else you can still get an appointment if you are eligible for a vaccine. So make sure and join us for that on KREM 2 News at 5.
Well, today, Chaz Health opened a COVID-19 vaccine clinic at Gonzaga University. It all started at 9 o'clock this morning. It will run for just about another hour, up till about 5 p.m. The clinic, though, will be open daily until March 2nd, so early next week. Patients can get vaccinated at Gonzaga's Fieldhouse in the Martin Center or in the parking lots adjacent to the McCarthy Athletic Center and School of Law. Vaccines are available by appointment only, and it's only for those that are eligible under the state's phased vaccine distribution plan. That includes those 65 years or older. Chaz will be coordinating directly with their patients on scheduling their appointment. Gonzaga leaders said they applied through the state to become a point of distribution for the vaccine. They say extra traffic is expected to create congestion in the area of Trent, Cincinnati, and Hamilton streets. Campus parking lots next to McCarthy Athletic Center and the School of Law will be discouraged while the clinic is open. They expect up to 1,300 visitors daily.
And new at 4 tonight, U.S. health advisors have endorsed that one-dose COVID-19 vaccine from Johnson & Johnson. The FDA is expected to quickly follow suit with the recommendation and make J&J's shot the third vaccine now authorized for emergency use here in the U.S. After day-long discussions, the FDA panelists voted unanimously that the benefits of this vaccine outweighed the risks for adults. And if the FDA agrees, shipments of several million doses of this new vaccine could begin going out as early as Monday. Now, if it's granted authorization, Washington will likely be allocated about 60,900 doses of this vaccine. That could be, again, coming as soon as next week. All right, let's take a moment just to enjoy the sunshine that once again is out there. Although I have to say, when I was driving into work today, the sun was shining, but it was also grappling on me.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, that's because we're starting to transition now into early spring weather, which is a very typical thing that we get here in the inland Northwest. But other than that, we do see some blue skies, so we love to see that. So the headlines for you today are some patchy, freezy fog forming overnight. Should see sunshine on Saturday after we burn off that morning fog, and then mostly cloudy skies expected on Sunday. Right now, we're at 41 degrees. Wind is out of the west at 17 miles per hour, as you can see. Not nearly as windy as it was yesterday. These are some of the peak wind gusts that we saw around the area. 31 in Spokane, 25 mile-an-hour winds gusts over in Coeur d'Alene, 44 mile-an-hour wind gusts down in Pullman, and you can see down in the Tri-Cities, 43 mile-an-hour wind gust. Doppler radar is, you can see, is showing a little bit of snow, but really it's all to the south of us, southeastern Washington and north central Idaho. You take a closer look at the Spokane area. We've got a few pop-up showers with some of that grapple that Whitney was reporting on. We'll look for an overnight low of 24 tonight. Mostly sunny tomorrow with a daytime high of 40 degrees. For Sunday, mostly cloudy and 41. The rest of that 7-day forecast just minutes away.
Well, as much as we love all that sunshine, this is a very different story. A winter storm again expected to bring another round of heavy snow to the Cascades, and it is making travel across the mountain passes extremely difficult. This is a live look right now. By the way, today Stevens Pass is closed again due to low-hanging power lines, and there is no estimated time for when that will reopen. According to the Northwest Avalanche Center, there is also a high avalanche danger right now for Snoqualmie and Stevens Passes. So if you are driving through Snoqualmie Pass, of course you need to drive slowly, be careful, and be prepared for ice and snow. And with over a foot of snow overnight there at the top, the season total right now is 396 inches of snow.
Wow. And when you say low-hanging power lines, that just shows you how much snow is on those power lines. It's been a tough year to get through the Cascades. That's no doubt about that. Well, newly released court documents detail what led to the arrest of a Sandpoint man and his brother. This is all in connection with the January 6th Capitol riots.
So those court documents include pictures of the brothers inside the Capitol building. Mark Hanrahan is joining us live now with the latest information. Hi, Mark.
Hey, good afternoon to you guys. So this is that criminal complaint, and this is one of the pictures included in that criminal complaint. So this photo right here, you can see Michael Pope of Sandpoint circled in red. He has the beanie on and the American flag on his shoulder. And right here circled in blue is his brother William Pope. He now lives in Kansas, according to this document. He's also wearing a USA hat holding an American flag. The FBI, by the way, placed those circles on those photos to identify both men in court documents. So investigators included several more pictures of both men inside and outside of the Capitol on January 6th as well. The 10-page document details how Michael Pope traveled from Idaho to Washington, D.C., where he met up with his brother William, who drove to D.C. from Kansas. The two were among hundreds of supporters of former President Donald Trump, who stormed the Capitol during a joint session of Congress to certify the Electoral College votes for the 2020 presidential election. The complaint alleges that William Pope tried to force open House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office door by laying his shoulder into it, and he appeared, according to the documents, to strike the door several times with his flagpole. A Capitol police officer also alleges that William Pope ignored his commands to leave the Capitol and resisted the officer's attempts to force him out. As for Michael, the complaint alleges that he and his brother were together inside the Capitol and that he ignored officers' commands to exit an elevator before several officers physically forced him out of that elevator. So for his part, William later called the FBI tip line to turn himself in, claiming he didn't damage any property or engage in any violence. Both men now face 7 federal counts, the most serious of which carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. You can read more about the allegations on our website. Just head to KREM.com. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mark. Also happening today, Second Harvest is holding a mobile market at the Spokane County Fairgrounds. It started at 1 this afternoon. It will run for another hour up till about 5 o'clock or until supplies last. They say there is enough food to feed up to 750 families, and it includes an assortment of non-perishable and fresh food. If you'd like more information, you can find that on the Second Harvest website.
Well, with a third coronavirus vaccine on the horizon, we are getting more and more questions about it. So if you have already had COVID-19 and recovered from it, the question is, should you still get the vaccine? We're going to verify after the break.